Hello everyone, let us discuss about one compartment open model extravascular administration. Coming to the introduction, whenever a drug is administered by extravascular route, that is oral, intramuscular, rectal, etc., absorption is a prerequisite for its therapeutic activity. And the rate of absorption may be mathematically described as first order or zero order. And what is the basic difference between zero order absorption and first order absorption? Zero order absorption is characterized by constant rate of absorption and it is independent of amount remaining to be absorbed. This is an important term, ARA, amount remaining to be absorbed. Zero order absorption is a constant rate absorption and it is independent of amount remaining to be absorbed. Whereas the first order absorption, it is characterized by an absorption rate, a decrease in absorption rate with decline in ARA. So first order absorption is dependent on amount remaining to be absorbed, ARA. This is the comparison of zero order and first order absorption. Here plot of ARA versus time is taken. And as you can see here, whenever a regular plot is taken, the zero order absorption, a regular plot of ARA versus T is linear with slope equal to rate of absorption for zero order process. In a regular plot, zero order absorption, it exhibits linear straight line whose slope is equal to rate of absorption, whereas semi-log plot is described by an ever increasing gradient. The dotted line is zero order gradient with time. In contrast, the first order absorption is distinguished by decline in the rate with ARA. The absorption rate is decreased along with the decline in ARA for regular plot. Whereas for first order kinetics, a regular plot is curvilinear and a semi-log plot is linear, whose slope is equal to absorption rate constant. So this is the basic difference between zero order and first order absorption. Coming to the rate of change in the amount of the drug. After EV administration, the rate of change in the amount of the drug dx by dt is the difference between the rate of input, which is nothing but absorption, and the rate of output. Rate of change in the amount of the drug is nothing but rate of input minus rate of output. So dx by dt is equals to dx EV by dt, that is rate of input, minus dxe by dt, that is rate of output. The next term is plasma concentration time profile. For a drug that follows one compartment kinetics, the plasma concentration time profile is characterized by three phases: absorption phase, post-absorption phase, and elimination phase. During the absorption phase, the rate of absorption is greater than the rate of elimination. So dx EV by dt is greater than dxe capital E by dt. So rate of absorption is greater than rate of elimination during the absorption phase. And after absorption phase, a peak plasma concentration is achieved at which rate of input equals to rate of output. That we'll discuss in the graph. The second phase is post-absorption phase. During the post-absorption phase, there is some drug at the extravascular site still remaining to be absorbed, and the rate of elimination at this stage is greater than the absorption. During the post-absorption phase, absorption rate is less than elimination rate. So dx EV by dt is less than dxe by dt. The third phase is after completion of the absorption, Whenever the absorption rate becomes 0, the plasma level time curve is characterized by elimination phase. During the elimination phase, only elimination exists. Absorption is completely 0. dx by dt is 0. These are the three phases of plasma profile, plasma concentration, time profile after EV administration. So this is the overall graph. This is the plasma concentration versus time, and this phase is the absorption phase. The first one. This is the absorption phase. Here the rate of absorption is greater than the rate of elimination. At a point at peak plasma concentration, which is nothing but Cmax, and the time to reach peak plasma concentration is called as Tmax. At that state, rate of absorption is equals to rate of elimination. After that, post-absorption phase occurs, and after that, elimination phase occurs. So this is the plasma concentration time profile obtained after extravascular administration of a single dose of drug. Coming to zero order absorption model, extravascular. Whenever drug is administered extravascularly, if it exhibits a zero order absorption model, here you can see drug at the site of EV and constant rate of infusion R0. As we have discussed earlier, zero order absorption is characterized by constant rate. Then these are the compartments. One compartment, blood and other body tissues. This is the elimination constant and the elimination process. And this model is similar to that of the constant rate IV infusion. Zero order absorption model, extravascular. Zero order absorption model, extravascular, is similar to constant rate IV infusion, and same equations also apply here. So for further details, please refer our one compartment open model IV infusion session. Now coming to first order absorption model, extravascular. Here, in case of first order absorption model, one more important term comes into effect, that is Ka. That is nothing but absorption rate constant. This is the drug at extravascular site, and this is the absorption process. Absorption process is characterized by absorption constant, and the elimination process is characterized by elimination constant. So two components exist in case of first order absorption model. Whereas in case of zero order absorption model and IV infusion, only elimination constant occurs. So for a drug that enters the body by first order absorption process and it gets distributed into the body according to one compartment kinetics and is eliminated by first order process, this is the overall model for such kind of drug. Now, as we have discussed earlier, the amount of the drug remaining in the body, dx by dt, is equals to rate of input minus rate of output. So differential form of this equation yields dx by dt is equals to Ka Xa minus Kex, where Ka is equals to first order absorption rate constant and Xa is nothing but the amount of the drug at the absorption site remaining to be absorbed. That is nothing but ARA. Xa is nothing but amount of the drug at the absorption site remaining to be absorbed, that is ARA. And integration of the above equation yields x is equals to f Ka x naught by Ka minus Ke into e to the power of minus Ket minus e to the power of minus Kat. Here also minus Kat. Please remember that. So this is the integration form of the above equation, where f is nothing but the fraction of the drug absorbed systematically after EV administration. F is nothing but the fraction of the drug absorbed systematically after EV administration, and here X is given. If we transform the above equation into constant concentration terms, we know that C is equals to x into Vd. Based on this equation, the above equation can be transformed as C is equals to Kf x naught by Vd into K minus Ke into e to the power of minus Ket minus e to the power of minus Kat. Ke and Ka are nothing but the elimination rate constant and the absorption rate constant, and F is the fraction of the drug absorbed systematically after extravascular administration. So that is the overall equation. Now coming to the assessment of pharmacokinetic parameters. In case of one compartment open model extravascular administration, in the current session we will discuss about assessment of all these pharmacokinetic parameters. We will assess the determination of Cmax and Tmax, maximum concentration and maximum time required to reach maximum concentration, elimination rate constant Ke, half-life of the drug T half, total clearance and volume of distribution, absorption rate constant Ka. Absorption rate constant is determined by two methods, method of residuals and Wagner-Nelson method. Both the methods will be discussed now. Now coming to the assessment of Cmax and Tmax. As we all know, at peak plasma concentration, the rate of absorption equals to rate of elimination. So dxEV by dt is equals to dxe by dt. So rate of change will be 0. In such case, xa, kxa, Ka-Xa is equals to Ke-Xe, and we all know that dC by dt is equals to Ka F x naught by Vd into Ka minus Ke into minus Ke e to the power of minus Ket plus Ka into e to the power of minus Ket. On simplifying the above equation, this becomes at peak plasma concentration Ke into e to the power of minus Ket is equals to Ka into e to the power of minus Ket. And converting the above equation to logarithmic form, we get log Ke is minus Ket by 2.303 is equals to log Ka minus Ket by 2.303. And whenever T is Tmax, Tmax is equals to 2.303 log Ka by Ke by Ka minus Ke. Here E is subscript. Tmax is equals to 2.303 log Ka by Ka minus Ke. The above equation shows that Ka becomes larger than Ke. Whenever Ka becomes larger than Ke, Tmax becomes smaller because Ka minus Ke increases much faster than log Ka by Ke. Whenever Ka becomes larger than Ke, Tmax becomes smaller. That is, the time required to reach the maximum concentration will be less whenever the absorption rate constant is larger than the elimination rate constant. By this term, we can calculate Tmax. Now coming to Cmax. How can we calculate Cmax? Cmax is nothing but the maximum concentration, maximum peak plasma concentration. Cmax is equals to, we can calculate Cmax by the above equation. Cmax is equals to f x naught by Vd into e to the power of minus Kt Tmax. After calculation of the Tmax, using Tmax we can calculate Cmax by the following equation. Cmax is equals to f x naught by Vd e to the power of minus Ke Tmax. It is shown that at Cmax, Ka will be equal to Ke and Tmax will be 1 by Ke. So the above equation is further reduced to Cmax is equals to f x naught by Vd e to the power of minus 1. That is nothing but Cmax is equals to 0.37 f x naught by Vd. This is the final equation for the determination of Cmax. We can use any equation based on the parameters that are provided for us. If x naught and Vd are given, and fraction of drug remaining to be absorbed is given, we can calculate Cmax by this equation. Cmax is equals to 0.37 Fx naught by Vd. And we all know that Fx naught by Vd, Fx naught by Vd is nothing but C naught. Following IV bolus, the maximum plasma concentration that can be attained after extravascular administration is just 37% of the maximum level attainable with IV bolus. So whenever a drug is given as IV bolus and extravascular, so when you administer it as extravascular administration, only 37% of the maximum level is attainable with extravascular administration when compared with IV bolus. And if the bioavailability of that particular drug is still less than 100%, still lower concentrations will be attainable. So that is the basic difference between extravascular administration and IV bolus. Coming to elimination rate constant. The parameter can be computed from elimination phase of the plasma level time profile. For most of the drugs administered extravascular, the absorption rate is significantly greater than the elimination rate. This is an important point. For majority of the drugs which are administered by extravascular route, rate of absorption is significantly greater than elimination rate. That is nothing but KAT is much greater than KET, and e to the power of minus KAT approaches 0 much faster than e to the power of minus KET. At this such state, when the absorption is complete, the change in plasma concentration is dependent only on the elimination rate, and the equation becomes, we all know that equation is further reduced. C is equals to Ka Fx naught by Vd into Ka minus Ke into e to the power of minus Ket, because the term e to the power of minus Ket approaches 0, that is nullified, and only this term exists. So C is equals to Ka Fx naught by Vd into Ka minus Ke into e to the power of minus Ket, and transforming the above equation into log form, the equation becomes log C is equals to log Ka Fx naught by Vd into Ka minus Ke minus Ket by 2.303. This is the final equation for determination of the elimination rate constant. Whenever a plot of log C versus T yields a straight line whose slope is equals to minus Ket. From the slope of that line, we can calculate the elimination rate constant. And from the elimination rate constant, you can calculate T half. T half is equals to 0.693 by Ke. Now coming to absorption rate constant. As we have discussed earlier, the absorption rate constant is determined by two methods. The first method is method of residuals, or it is also called as curve fitting method. And the method is also termed as feathering, peeling and stripping technique. The technique is termed as feathering, peeling and stripping technique. So these are all synonyms: method of residuals or curve fitting method or feathering, peeling and stripping. Everything comes to method of residuals. And the next method is Wagner-Nelson method. Now first let us discuss about method of residuals or curve fitting method. It is commonly used in pharmacokinetics to resolve a multi-exponential curve into its individual components. Method of residuals is used to resolve multi-exponential curve into its individual components. And for a drug that follows one compartment kinetics and administered extravascularly, the concentration of drug in plasma is expressed by bi-exponential equation. As we all know, we have discussed earlier. The concentration of the drug in plasma is expressed by bi-exponential equation. C is equals to Ka Fx naught by Vd into Ka minus Ke into e to the power of minus Ket minus e to the power of minus Kat. So this is the bi-exponential form. These two are the exponents. And if we consider, if Ka f x naught by Vd into Ka minus Ke is equals to a hybrid constant, then the equation is reduced to C is equals to A into e to the power of minus Ket minus e to the power of minus Ket. That is nothing but C is equals to A into e to the power of minus Ket minus A into e to the power of minus Ket. And during the elimination phase, when the absorption is almost over, the absorption rate constant is very much greater than the elimination rate constant, and the value of second exponential, that is e to the power of minus Ket, approaches 0, whereas during the elimination phase, when the absorption is almost over, the absorption rate constant is very much greater than elimination rate constant, and the value of the second exponent e to the power of minus Ket approaches 0, whereas first exponential e to the power of minus k retains some finite value. And at this stage, since e to the power of minus Ket approaches 0, the equation is further reduced to C is equals to A into e to the power of minus Ket. And the arrow mark indicates back extrapolated. In the log form, the above equation becomes log concentration back extrapolated is equals to log A minus Ket by 2.303. And as we have discussed earlier, where C arrow back extrapolated represents back extrapolated plasma concentration values. And whenever a plot of log C versus T yields a bi-exponential curve, a plot of log C versus T yields a bi-exponential curve with a terminal linear portion. The terminal linear portion will have a slope equal to Ke by T, minus Ke by 2.303. And the back extrapolation of this straight line to time 0 yields a y-intercept equal to log A. Whenever you see the plot, you will understand clearly. So, as of now, when a plot of log C versus T yields a bi-exponential curve, that bi-exponential curve has a terminal linear portion whose slope is equals to minus Ke by 2.303. And whenever this linear portion is back extrapolated to times 0, it yields a y-intercept equal to log A. And subtraction of the true plasma concentration values from the extrapolated plasma concentration values yields a series of residual concentration values CR, hence the term method of residuals. The back extrapolated plasma values are subtracted from the true plasma values, and this yields a series of residual concentration CR. So C back extrapolated minus C is equals to CR, that is equals to A into e to the power of minus KAB. Residual concentration yields absorption rate constant. So log CR is equals to log A minus Ka by Kat by 2.303, and a plot of log CR versus T yields a straight line whose slope is equals to minus Ka by 2.303, and the y-intercept is equals to log A. And from this equation, absorption half-life can be calculated by 0.693 by Ka. Ka here, this is absorption half-life, not the T half. Please remember. So, thus the method of residuals enables the resolution of bi-exponential plasma level time profile into its two exponential components. And the technique works best when the difference between Ka and Ke is large. This is very important. The technique works best when the difference between Ka and Ke is large. That is, Ka by Ke should be greater than or equal to 3. Now, Method of residuals also exhibits flip-flop phenomena. So what is flip-flop phenomena? In some cases, as we have discussed previously, Ka must be greater than Ke. In some cases, Ke obtained after IV bolus of the same drug is very large, much larger than Ke. So in some cases, Ke will be greater than Ka. Example is isoprenaline. In such case, the equation ratio of Ke by Ka. Previously it was Ka by Ke. Now it is Ke by Ka. It is greater than or equal to 3. In such cases, the terminal slope estimates absorption rate constant, not the elimination rate constant. Usually the terminal linear portion yields elimination rate constant, but whenever elimination rate constant is much larger than the absorption rate constant and the ratio of elimination rate constant by absorption rate constant is greater than or equal to 3, in such cases the terminal slope estimates absorption rate constant and not the elimination rate constant, and the slope of residual line gives Ke. And this phenomena is called as flip-flop phenomena, as the slopes of two lines have exchanged their meaning. Because the slopes of two lines have exchanged their meaning, this phenomena is called as flip-flop. So this is the overall table. Whenever Ka by Ke, usually Ka will be larger than Ka will be larger than Ke. So Ka by Ke is greater than or equal to 3. This is a regular case. And usually whenever this principle applies, the slope of the terminal line yields Ke and the slope of residual line yields Ka. But in some cases such as isoprenaline, the elimination rate constant is much larger than the absorption rate constant. In such cases, Ke by Ka is greater than or equal to 3. In this case, the slope of terminal line yields absorption rate constant and the slope of residual lines yields elimination rate constant, and this phenomena is called as flip-flop phenomena because the slopes have exchanged or interchanged their meaning. And one more important point is time lag. Ideally, the extrapolated and the residual lines intersect each other on y-axis at time 0, and there is no lag of absorption in such case. But in general, it does not occur. If such interactions, whenever the back extrapolated line and the residual line intersect at a time greater than 0, it indicates a time lag in absorption. And the time lag is defined as the time difference between drug administration and the start of absorption. Lag time or time lag is defined as the time difference between drug administration and the start of absorption. It is denoted by T0, and time lag or lag time represents the beginning of the absorption process. Coming to the disadvantages of method of residuals, this method is not ideal if the absorption of the drug is affected in some way such as GI motility or due to enzymatic degradation. And whenever the drug shows multi-compartment characteristics, even in such case also method of residual does not fit good. In such cases, the absorption rate constant represents the first order disappearance of the drug from GIT rather than the first order appearance of the drug in the systemic circulation. The absorption rate constant, whenever there is change in the absorption due to GI motility or enzymatic degradation, or if the drug shows multi-compartment characteristics, in such cases, the absorption rate constant determined will represent the first order disappearance of the drug from GIT rather than the first order appearance of the drug into systemic circulation. So this is the disadvantage. Now this is the overall plot of plasma concentration time profile after oral administration of single dose of drug. The bi-exponential curve This is the bi-exponential curve, and that has been resolved into its two components, that is absorption and elimination. This is log C versus T. So usually the terminal linear portion yields slope is equals to minus Ke by 2.303, and this terminal linear portion is back extrapolated to y-axis, whose y-intercept is equals to log A. So log A is equals to log Ka Fx naught by Vd into Ka minus Ke. And this back extrapolated line yields the difference between the true plasma concentration and the back extrapolated line yields residual concentration Cr. So this dotted lines indicate residual concentration line Cr. So the slope of residual line yields absorption rate constant. Slope is equals to minus Ka by 2.303. And whenever the residual concentration and the terminal linear extrapolated linear portion, whenever they intersect on the y-axis, they intersect with each other on the y-axis, ideally it will occur at time 0. In such case, there is no lag in absorption. So, but whenever it occurs greater than time 0, now you can see in the graph they are getting connected, intersecting at this point, and this period is called as lag time. So this is the overall plasma concentration time profile of oral administration of single dose of drug. This is the residual line and this is the terminal linear line. And during flip-flop phenomena, the opposite occurs. Now coming to the second method, that is Wagner-Nelson method. And this method involves determination of absorption rate constant Ka from percent unabsorbed and time plots. Using Wagner-Nelson method, the absorption rate constant is determined from percent unabsorbed versus time. It does not require assumption of zero order or first order absorption. And after oral administration of a single dose of the drug at any given time, the amount of the drug absorbed into systemic circulation Xa is the sum of amount of the drug in the body X and the amount of the drug eliminated from the body. The amount of the drug absorbed into systemic circulation Xa is equals to sum of the amount of the drug present in the body X plus amount of the drug eliminated from the body. Xa is equals to X plus Xe. And as we all know that amount of the drug present in the body is nothing but X is equals to Vd into C, volume of distribution into plasma concentration. And the amount of the drug eliminated at any time is given by this equation. Xe is equals to Ke Vd into AUC, area under curve, 0 and T. Xa, as we know that Xa is equals to X plus Xe, and if we substitute the value of X and Xa in the above equation, we get Xa is equals to Vd into C plus Ke Vd into AUC 0 to T. The total amount of the drug absorbed into the systemic circulation from time 0 to infinity. This is from time 0 to time T, and the total amount of the drug absorbed into systemic circulation from time 0 to infinity. Xa infinity can be given by Xa infinity is equals to Vd into C infinity plus Ke Vd into AUC 0 to infinity. Here T is equals to infinite. So Xa infinity is equals to Vd into C infinity plus Ke Vd into AUC 0 to infinity. And we know that T is equals to infinity and C infinity is equals to 0. The equation is reduced to Xa infinity is equals to Ke Vd AUC 0 to infinity. And the fraction of the drug absorbed at any time T is given as XA by XA infinity is equals to VDC plus KEVD AUC 0 to T by KEVD AUC 0 to infinity. And the equation is further reduced to XA by XA infinity is equals to C plus KE into AUC 0 to T and by KE into AUC 0 to infinity. So the amount of the drug remaining to be absorbed or the percent drug unabsorbed at any time is therefore given by the final equation. Percent ARA is equals to 1 minus XA by XA infinity into 100. By substituting the value of XA and XA infinity, we get the final equation is percentage ARA, percent amount remaining to be absorbed is equals to 1 minus C plus KE AUC 0 to T by KE into AUC 0 to infinity into 100. This is the final equation by Wagner-Nelson method. And this method requires collection of blood samples after single oral dose at regular intervals of time till the entire amount of the drug is eliminated from the body. Wagner-Nelson method requires collection of blood samples after single oral dose at regular intervals of time till the entire amount of the drug is eliminated from the body. Using Wagner-Nelson method, the elimination rate constant Ke is obtained from log C versus T plot, and the area under curve AUC 0 to T and 0 to infinity are obtained from C versus T plot, regular plots, concentration versus time, and elimination rate constant is obtained by log C versus T, and a semi-log plot of percentage ARA versus time, percent amount remaining to be absorbed versus time. A semi-log plot yields a straight line whose slope will be equal to minus Ka by 2.303. And if a regular plot of percent ARA versus T is a straight line, in such case the absorption is zero order. So this is semi-log plot of log percent ARA versus T. This yields a straight line whose slope is equals to minus Ka by 2.303. By this, you can calculate the absorption rate constant using Wagner-Nelson method. Coming to the disadvantages of Wagner-Nelson method. It applies only to drugs with one compartment characteristics. So whenever the problems arise when the drug obeys one compartment model after extravascular administration, and it shows multi-compartment characteristics on IV injection. So whenever a drug exhibits one compartment model on extravascular administration, and if the same drug exhibits multi-compartment characteristics if it is given by IV injection, in such cases tallying of the data is difficult using Wagner-Nelson method. So Wagner-Nelson method applies only to drugs which follow one compartment characteristics. This is a disadvantage. Now, one more important concept, the influence of absorption rate constant, elimination rate constant on the Cmax, Tmax and AUC. This is an important table on GPAT point of view. So here these are the parameters affected, Cmax, Tmax and AUC. So there are two cases, and in one case elimination rate constant is held constant, and in the second case absorption rate constant is held constant. So whenever K is held constant, K is constant, and whenever absorption rate constant Ka is smaller, the Cmax decreases and Tmax will be long. There will be no change in AUC. Whenever the K is held constant and absorption rate constant is larger, the Cmax increases. Whenever there is absorption rate constant increases, the plasma concentration Cmax also increases and the Tmax becomes less. There is no change in AUC. So whenever elimination rate constant is held constant, and whether it is smaller absorption rate constant or larger absorption rate constant, there is no change in AUC. The second case is here the absorption rate constant is held constant, Ka is held constant, and smaller Ke increases the Cmax and Tmax also. Here the AUC is also increased. Whenever the absorption rate constant is held constant, smaller Ke, smaller elimination rate constant increases Tmax, Cmax, Tmax and AUC. And larger Ke decreases the peak plasma concentration, Tmax becomes short and AUC is also decreased. Now coming to the final apparent volume of distribution and total clearance. For a drug that follows one compartment kinetics, after extravascular administration, volume of distribution and total clearance are given by Vd is equals to Fx naught by AUC into Ke, and total clearance is equals to Fx naught by AUC. By this, we complete one compartment open model extravascular administration. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for further videos on pharmaceutical sciences.